Yes. Hello everyone, and आज today we are going to start the module D mini marathon. ठीक है? And so module D mini marathon is pending for you, and module B mini marathon we have already completed, right? So we can just solve all the question related to module D. There is a first question of module D. Question number one is the whistleblower policy preamble contain the following. Which of the term should be most important? Option A, anonymity of the informant will be maintained. B is the authenticity of the information will be confirmed and there will be no reprisal for reporting the information. Appropriate and disciplinary action will be taken after the investigation and on confirmation of the information, and none of the above. So basically, who is the whistleblower? Whistleblower is the person who will raise the voice against anything which is wrong. ठीक है? Option one is anonymity of the informant will be maintained. The authenticity of the information will be confirmed. C is appropriate and disciplinary action will be taken, right? So which is the most important? That is A, because the anonymity of the informant will be maintained. Okay, you have to maintain the confidentiality of the person. Okay, you have to maintain the confidentiality of the person. Next is which of the following is not considered whistleblowing? Reporting fraud to an external regulatory body. B is publicizing personal grievance about the workplace condition. C is revealing unsafe working condition to the authority, exposing corruption. See, corruption or anything which is wrong, ठीक है? Anything which is wrong that comes under the already the right, that comes under already in the category of the whistleblower. ठीक है? So option A, reported fraud to external regulatory body, yes, that is comes under the whistleblowing complaint. Second is publicizing personal grievance about the workplace condition. This is the right answer. About the workplace condition, this is your personal complaint, right? Basically, the complaint which comes under the whistleblower are the complaint, ठीक है? Those complaint basically, ठीक है? These are the complaint basically, which is the complaint which comes under the, ठीक है? So basically, the complaint which is related to your personal complaint, that is not comes under the whistleblower complaint, ठीक है? And right, so basically all the complaint, ठीक है, which is comes under the whistleblower, these are the complaint which can cause harm to the normal public. B, ठीक है? Next is what is the primary objective of the GRC framework? To maximize profit for an organization, to ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirement, manage risk and promote organizational governance. C is to standardize internal workflow and reduce operational cost, to create a marketing strategy for the organization. See, what is the meaning of the GRC framework? Basically, GRC framework is where authorities or organization, they have to maintain the right, they have to maintain the governance, they have to maintain the risk, they have to maintain the compliance simultaneously. ठीक है? That is completely simultaneously. So this is the GRC framework is all about. ठीक है? GRC framework is what? That is the structured approach that integrate organization process for managing the governance, risk, compliance to align with its business objective. It provides a unified system, right, to oversee how decisions are made. So you have to maintain the risk, ठीक है? So they have to maintain the risk, right, and ठीक है. So basically they have to maintain the risk, they have to mitigate the risk, and they have to follow the all the compliances in the organization. ठीक है. So this is the things, right? This is the important things, right? So basically, ठीक है, to maximize the profit. So what is the right answer? What is the objective of the GRC? You have to follow the compliances, you have to mitigate the risk, and you have to follow the governance also, organizational governance. Next is, which regulatory body in India is responsible for regulating and supervising bank compliance with law and regulation? Is it SEBI, is it RBI, is it NSE, or is it IDA? Bataiye, which regulatory body who is regulating all the rule regulation? Of course that is RBI. Even for NBFCs also. ठीक है. ठीक है. So that is RBI, not C, D. It is a B is the right answer. Next is, which aspect of GRC involve identifying and addressing the potential threat to the organization? ठीक है. So basically the GRC framework is related to the governance, risk and compliances. ठीक है. They have to maintain the all the compliances, they have to follow the all the compliances in the organization. ठीक है. So what is the right answer now? ठीक है. So what is the right answer? The right answer will be C here. That is risk management. You have to find out the threat, you have to find out the organization. So that is C is the right answer. Next is, how many principal for internal audit function has been prescribed by the RBI? Is it 10? Is it 11? Is it 12? Is it 16? ठीक है. So which one is the right answer? Right. So basically the right answer will be here, that is D. There are total 16 principle which is related to the internal audit function. Next is, in compliance culture, what the term cowboy mean? What is the meaning of the cowboy? Is it option A, employee who enforce compliance strictly? B is individual who act recklessly, ignoring rule and regulation. C is manager who implement compliance training program. And D is auditor who monitor regulatory adherence. बताइए which one is the right answer? ठीक है. So which one is the right answer here? In the compliance culture, basically, see, what is the meaning of the cowboys? The person who can take the risk, who are willing to take the risk recklessly. Basically he is ignoring all the rule regulation completely, he is going to act recklessly, ignoring rules and regulation. ठीक है. That is the cowboy mean, and of course they have to follow all the rule regulation, then only compliance culture will be follow. Next is, in the compliance risk score can be assessed on the scale of 1 to 10. Match the following: 1 to 3, 3.1 to 5, 5.1 to 7 and 7.1 to 10. बताइए. ठीक है. So which one is the right answer? ठीक है. So basically, see, if your score is low, that means 1 to 3, that means the situation is well controlled. And this question was asked under the category of without option also. So if your score is 1 to 3, that means situation is well controlled. If it is 3.125, that is needs improvement. 5.127, that means meet requirement, and 7.1 to 10 means that is. So the right answer will be here. For A it is 2, for B it is third, sorry, B it is third, meets requirement. It should be A should be the right answer. Okay, A is the right answer. For 5.127, it is needs improvement. Okay, and needs significant improvement. So if your compliance score is very low, so that means, right, so that means the situation is worst. Okay, and you have to take care of every compliances. Okay, so now what is the meaning of the tone from the top? Critical is to fostering a strong compliance culture. ठीक है, so the answer will be tone from the top means, ठीक है, that is tone from the top means the right answer will be leadership set the ethical standard. So basically, if in any organization the top management, if they are not following the compliances, ठीक है, if they are not following the compliances, then that means no one will follow. So of course the top management, they set the ethical standard and encourage organizational accountability. Next is, how does inherent risk differ from the residual risk? ठीक है, so which one is the right answer? See, inherent risk is basically a natural risk. ठीक है, that is a raw risk before applying any control measures, and residual risk is remaining risk even if you have applied all the control, everything you have applied. See, there are three type of risk. Number one is that is inherent risk. Number two is residual risk. Number three is the, that is control risk. So inherent risk is what? Inherent risk is the natural risk, raw risk, which you have, okay, which you will face before applying any control measure. Control risk is what? Control risk is if you applied all the control measures, okay, still there is a risk. So we called it as a control risk. Okay, and what is the residual risk? That is the remaining risk. Okay, that is the remaining risk. Okay, so that is the remaining risk. So B is the right answer. Next is, what is the primary objective of a LRM? Option A, to increase loan disbursement speed. B is to assess the quality of a bank loan portfolio and identify potential risk. ठीक है, next is to promote marketing for new loan product, and D is to manage customer complaint related to the loan. So what is the objective of the LRM? See, LRM is basically the measurement. ठीक है, LRM is basically the testing for the randomly selected loan. The quality of the loan will be checked, ठीक है, with the LRM. So what is the loan review mechanism? Loan review mechanism is all about where you will be checking the, there is a independent assessment process which is used by the bank and financial institution to evaluate the quality of their loan portfolio. You have to identify the potential problem early, and you have to ensure the compliance with internal policy and regulatory requirements. So basically it is the right, it is the basically the assessment process where you have to evaluate the quality of the loan portfolio, whether it is good or not. Okay, so B is the right answer. Next is, which of the following is a benefit of LRM? Early identification of problem loan, right? Then improved credit risk management, simplification of loan documentation, requirement, and D is compliance with regulatory expectation. So what is the right answer? Okay. So which one is not the benefit? That is C. Simplification of loan document requirement. C. Okay. Because see, in the LRM na, you can find out what all are the problematic loan. You can improve the credit risk management. You can simplify is not the process of LRM. You can find out the compliances also, whether you have taken all the document, whether you have checked all the document. Okay, so C is not the part of LRM, not the benefit. What is a problematic loan means in the context of LRM? Okay, a loan, right? A loan that generate high interest revenue, a loan with delayed repayment of or indication of default risk, a loan approved by a junior officer, a loan disbursed to a preferred customer. बताइए. ठीक है. So a loan that generate high interest, ठीक है, a loan that generate high interest revenue, a loan with delayed repayment or indication of default risk, C is a loan approved by a junior officer, and D is a loan disbursed to a preferred customer. बताइए. So what is the meaning of the problematic loan? A loan which can turn out as a NPA in the future. ठीक है, because maybe there is a chances of that borrower is not able to repay the loan. There is a delayed repayment. ठीक है, B is the right answer. Next is, in a LRM, what does the term EWS refer to? What is the meaning of that? Option A, indicator of regulatory non-compliance. B is sign of potential borrower distress or risk of default. C is timely disbursement of loan, and D is notification of loan approval. ठीक है, so what is the meaning of the, बताइए. ठीक है, so that is indicator of regulatory non-compliance, sign of potential borrower distress or risk of default, timely disbursement of loan, then notification for loan approval. बताइए. So EWS means, see, This is the basically signal, okay, which you can identify that maybe this loan can turn out as a default loan in the future. There are total 45 EWS signal, okay, which is given by the RBI. That means the borrower having the distress, or maybe that loan will be turned as a NPA in the future. Next is, in a credit audit, what is the significance of reviewing the loan sanctioning process? Option A, to evaluate the marketing strategy used to attract the customer, to ensure that loans are approved in line with the bank policy and guideline. C is to assess the operational efficiency of loan disbursement, and D is to assess customer complaint about loan processing. बताइए. Right? In a credit audit, what is the significance of review the loan sanctioning process? Is it to evaluate the marketing strategy? Is it to ensure the loan are approved with the? So basically, you have to review the loan, whether we have given the loan according to the bank guideline or not. See, what is the meaning of the credit audit? The credit audit is all about the where the borrower is not able to repay the loan, where you can check that which all are the loan which comes under the riskier zone. That means where borrower is not able to repay the loan, that we have to check in the credit audit process. Understood? So now in the credit audit process, basically we have to find out that all the loans are given, okay, which we have to ensure that they are according to bank guideline or not. Okay. These are the LODR regulation, LODR regulation 29. These four regulation at least you have to remember. 29 is related to prior intimation, 30 is related to disclosure of material event or information, 46 is all about if there is any information, right, related to your bank, you have to display on your website. Um, for example, like any information, जैसे change in the name, change in the business, ठीक है, change in the whistleblower policy, you have to update within 2 days. Any information you want to publish in the newspaper according to regulation 47, then you have to publish, ठीक है, 1 second, then you have to publish in the newspaper, one English and one Hindi. So basically, regulation 47 is information which you want to disclose with the stakeholder, shareholder. So you have to disclose in the one English newspaper, one local. Okay? These are the four regulation which you have to remember. Question is, if a listed entity fail to comply with the time frame for disclosure under the regulation 29, which of the following could be consequences? ठीक है, ऑप्शन ए पेनल्टी एंड सैंक्शन फ्रॉम दी, ठीक है, फ्रॉम दी स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, रिडक्शन इन स्टॉक प्राइस, देन सस्पेंशन of trading in the company share, or all of the above. So what regulation 29 says that you have to disclose, ठीक है, if listed entity fail, what will be the consequences? D, penalty will be there from the SEBI. What regulation 20? It says that within 2 days, if you are going to conduct the meeting of the board of director related to maybe dividend or profit or something, you have to inform the SEBI 2 days prior. ठीक है, if that won't happen, then definitely penalty, sanction from the stock exchange, reduction in the stock price, suspension of trading in the company share. So definitely all the above. You have to maintain all the LODR regulation. SEBI LODR 29 deal with the disclosure requirement related to shareholding pattern of the company, financial performance of the company, outcome of the meeting of board of director and disclosure of material event, then corporate governance practice followed by the company. So that is of course C, outcome of the meeting, and even for what topic you are going to conduct the meeting. I mean, is it for profit? Is it for dividend declaration? Okay. Under LODR 29, when must a listed entity disclose the outcome of the meeting of board of director where certain decisions have been made within 24 hours, within 48 hours, within 7 working days and 10 working days. Okay. Whatever decision has been taken, that will be disclosed after 48 hours of meeting. Okay. 2 days. That means, and even it should be published in the newspaper also. What is the primary focus of SEBI 30? ठीक है. So that is option A, financial reporting and auditing. B is timely disclosure of material event or information. C is corporate governance practice. And D is determining the shareholding pattern of listed company. बताइए. ठीक है. So what is the primary focus of SEBI regulation 30? Is it financial reporting and auditing? Is it timely disclosure of material event? So that is a timely disclosure of material event. If the information which is relevant, you have to disclose. Okay, in the timely manner you have to disclose. Next is LODR 30, mandate that listed company disclose material event to the stock exchange. Which of the following would be considered as a material event? See, 30 says that now that this is the information which you have to disclose. Okay. And what is the meaning of the material event? If it is useful information, appointment of new CEO, major fire in the company warehouse, significant change. So these are the information. If it is useful, then only you can disclose. Para B of the regulation 30 says. Okay. If these are the material event. SEBI LODR regulation 30 require the listed company to disclose material event. What kind of event are considered material? Event that have potential to affect the company stock price. That information we considered material. Okay, material means which can affect the price of the share of that particular company. These events that are only relevant to the company's senior management, routine day-to-day operational activity, personal change in the management team. बताइए. ठीक है. So what is the right answer here? The right answer will be here. That is A. ठीक है. A is the right answer. Next is CB LODR regulation 46 mandate that listed company provide certain disclosure on their website. How frequently should these disclosure will be updated? Only at the end of fiscal year, regular interval whenever there is a change in information. Suppose change in the business, change in the board of director, ठीक है, change in the name of the company. So that is updated based on the regular interval and whenever there is a change in the information. Next is what is the deadline for listed company to update the information according to LODR 46? बताइए. Which one is the right answer? ठीक है. So that is of course within 2 days. That is within 2 days from the occurrence of a change. Next is according to LODR regulation 47, How should listed company publish notice of the board meeting? Only in digital format, at least one English and one regional language newspaper, in quarterly newsletter, only in annual report. बताइए. So basically, according to Regulation 47, if you want to disclose any information to the shareholder, it should be one English and one local newspaper. ठीक है? Next is, and these are the accounting standard which you have to remember. See, AS5 is related to notes to account. In the balance sheet, AS9 is related to revenue recognition. 15 is related to employee benefit. 17 is related to segment reporting. 18 is related to related party disclosure. 21 is related to CFS, that is consolidated financial statement, subsidiaries. ठीक है. 22 is all about bank should account for taxes on income and disclose the amount in the financial statement. Then 23 is all about accounting for investment in associate and interim financial reporting. So the question here is, which of the following is true about the prior period item as per the AS5? Option A, they are considered extraordinary item that should always be disclosed separately. B, they must be adjusted in the retained earning account without any further disclosure. C, they must be included in the current period profit and loss statement with specific disclosure. And D, they are not recognized if the period gap is more than 1 year. ठीक है? So basically, see, the right answer will be C. That can be included under the notes to account category of profit and loss. Suppose if any item which you forgot to include in the last year, right, in the last year balance sheet, you can include those items under the notes to account category of profit and loss. ठीक है? Under AS21 says that if a parent company own 100% of its subsidiary, how should the subsidiary net profit will be reported? Only the portion attributable to the parent company shareholder is reported. The entire net profit of the subsidiary is included in the consolidated income statement, CFS, that means. Only the subsidiary income is included or profit is not consolidated. So of course the entire net profit you have to incorporate under the parent company consolidate financial statement. B. Next is, as per the extent guideline, the commercial bank excluding LAB and RRB, they shall transfer not less than percent of the net profit before the appropriation to the statutory reserve. Is it 25? Is it 30? Is it 10? Is it 5? बताइए. So which one is the right answer? Is it 25? Is it 30? Is it 10? Is it 5? ठीक है. So basically 25 is the right answer. 25% of the net profit you have to send to the statutory reserve. ठीक है. I'll tell you the guideline also under which section. 25. Next is, in the central payment fraud information registry, bank must ensure that all fraud are reported to RBI through the electronic data submission portal within a maximum period of from the date of reporting by the customer or detection of the fraud by the entity. 5 calendar days, 7 calendar days, 11 calendar days or 21 calendar days. ठीक है. So in the CPFIR, basically this question came last year only. ठीक है. All the fraud reported to the RBI, right, under the electronic data submission portal. So what is the maximum period? That is 7 calendar days. See, in the FMR na, the timeline is 21 calendar days, but in the FM and the CPFIR, CFR, that means it is 7 calendar days. Within 7 calendar days after the detection of the fraud, it will be submitted to the portal. Next is, in addition to the FMR, banks are required to furnish the flash report. This question also came. For fraud involving amount of what and above within a week of such fraud coming to the notice of the bank head office, the FR is to be furnished in the form of DO letter addressed to the PCGM, CGM in charge, DBS, RBI Central Office Mumbai with a copy to the CFMC Bangalore. Is it 10 crore and above? Is it 20 crore and above? Is it 50 crore and above? Is it 100 crore and above? बताइए. ठीक है. So that is 50 crore and above. C is the right answer. For the 50 crore and above fraud, bank have to require to furnish the flash report. Next is the threshold for EWS and red flagged account. This question also came last year. Is an exposure of at the level of bank irrespective of the lending arrangement. Maybe it is a solo banking or multiple banking or consortium. ठीक है. But EWS, what is the threshold for EWS and red flagged account? When we called it red flagged account, if it is A 500 million and above account is there. ठीक है. We called it as a EWS and red flagged account. Which of the following best define the crime of the impersonation? What is the meaning of the impersonation? That means you are using the other person identity like Aadhaar card, address proof. So option A, claiming another person identity with the intent to commit fraud or deception. B is dressing up as another person for entertainment purpose. C is imitating someone's voice without any deceptive intent. And D is using someone else's property. So of course A is the right answer. When you are using some other person and identity even without of his knowledge for intention is wrong. ठीक है. For any intention is to commit fraud. Next is which of the following is a characteristic of crypto ransomware? It encrypt the victim file and demand payment for the decryption key. It steal personal information without encrypting file. It is spread through phishing email but does not affect files. It only lock the victim screen without encrypting any file. बताइए. ठीक है. So what is the meaning of the crypto ransomware? The crypto ransomware is if see there will be the victim file will be encrypt and demand the payment for the decryption key. That is a crypto ransomware is. ठीक है. The file will be corrupted and they demand payment, they demand bribe for the decryption the and sending the decryption key. ठीक है. Next is which of the following best describe the APT, advanced persistent threat? Option A, the type of malware that is spread through the email attachment. B is a prolonged and targeted cyber attack aimed at stealing sensitive information. C is a generic low level attack targeting random individual. D is security vulnerability in a software program that is easily exploited. बताइए. ठीक है. So that is basically what is the APT means. That is a prolonged and targeted cyber attack which aimed at stealing the sensitive information. B. Next is the Central Vigilance Commission was set up by the GOI by the resolution dated 11th of February 1964 in pursuance of the recommendation made by the Committee on Prevention of Corruption. Is it Narsimha Committee? Is it Tarapur Committee? Is it Santanam Committee or none of the above? बताइए. So basically Central Vigilance Commission was set up by the GOI. ठीक है. And there is a resolution dated 64 1964. ठीक है. So what is the right answer here? ठीक है, that is Santhanam committee based on the recommendation of Santhanam committee. C. Next is lodgement of the complaint for fraud amount above 500 million is required to registered with which of the following: anti-corruption branch, economic offence wing, BSFC or CBI joint director. This question asked last year only. ठीक है, so basically the answer will be CBI joint director New Delhi. Next is vigilance angle may be discernible when a person, option A, when we called it situation as a vigilance angle, option A seems to have complied with the unauthorized and unlawful oral, ठीक है, oral instruction of his senior without bringing them to the notice of the competent authority as per the extent guideline. They has exceeded his discretionary power and his action do not appear justifiable or to serve bank interest. They have abused or misused his official position to obtain benefit for himself or for another, या फिर any one of the above. बताइए. So here, any one of the above. If you are misusing your position, okay, if there is any unauthorized, unlawful oral instruction, all comes under the vigilance angle. So basically, what is the meaning of the fraud under Section 17 of the Indian Contract Act? Fraud means to deceive someone. The act basically which you have committed is to deceive someone. Okay, to cheat someone. Then forgery is what under section 463, that means you are doing any alteration in the genuine document, or maybe you are giving the fake document. Okay, that is under section 463. Now you have to match the following: wishing, sniffing, spoofing and smishing. बताइए. ठीक है, so what is the wishing? See, answer will be here, that is B. What is a wishing? Wishing is basically a social engineering type of attack where criminal are using the phone call or voice message. ठीक है, and they will ask you to reveal the sensitive information like your phone number. ठीक है, and these type of detail. Second is sniffing. Sniffing is what? It refers the act of intercepting and capturing the network traffic data. ठीक है, spoofing is what? That is referred to the type of cyber attack where falsify information to gain the unauthorized access. Smishing is also social engineering attack through SMS. Next is malware, trojan virus, and ransomware and malvertising. बताइए. ठीक है, what is the malware? What is the malvertising? Malvertising is all about online advertising where you just click on the link and it can affect your user computer when you just click the advertisement. ठीक है, so of course for D 4 comes, right? A is the right answer. Malware is referred to the any software specifically designed to harm, exploit or compromise the functionality, security or data of computer device or network. Trojan virus is trick a user into thinking it is harmless while it can launch an attack on a system and can establish a backdoor which attacker can use. ठीक है, that is a Trojan virus is all about. ठीक है, C is ransomware. It prevent access to the data of the victim and threat to the delete or publish it unless to ransom is paid. ठीक है, so that is with third C comes, with two B comes. ठीक है, next is, so in the words of the Shri S.S. Mudra, the former deputy governor RBI, he says that only eternal vigilance can bring closer to the fraud free ecosystem. So he has given 12 sutras. ठीक है, what is the 12 sutra? Robust fraud risk identification, 5 C's of credit, capacity, capital, collateral, condition, character, culture of external vigilance. ठीक है, solution of for technological challenges. ठीक है, empower, 3 C's of CFR, credit bureau, right? These are the 12 sutra he has given. Question is, regulatory minimum net own fund for NBF, ICC, MFI and factor shall be increased to the 10 crore by March 31st 2027, 24, then 25, then 26. बताइए. ठीक है, so that is 31st of March 2027. A. ठीक है, and net own fund you have to maintain the 10 crore. Then to improve the quality of the regulatory capital, which of the following entity is required to maintain the common equity tier 1 capital at least 9% of the RWA? Bank, insurance company, investment firm, all financial institution. बताइए. So what is the right answer here? That is all financial institution. It should be nature. Bank. Bank is the right answer. It is bank. ठीक है. Next is, what term refer to the risk associated with the potential, ठीक है, with the potential for regulatory action that could lead to the closure of a business? Is it annihilation risk? Is it regulatory risk? Is it credit risk or market risk? बताइए. ठीक है, what term refer to the risk associated with the regulatory action that can lead to the closure of business? So that is annihilation risk. A. Next is, the bank is required to stabilize and maintain the quality assurance program, ठीक है, for all the aspect of compliance functions. So this program must be reviewed periodically by the independent external party at least once in every 1 year, 2 year, 3 year or 5 year. बताइए. ठीक है, so here the right answer will be that is 3 year, once in every 3 year. ठीक है, next is, what is the tenure of the CCO according to the recent guideline given by the RBI for appointment of the CCO in the bank? So of course the right answer is 3 years. ठीक है, that is 3 year. ठीक है, so what this slide you have to remember. ठीक है, the tenure is basically fixed tenure, not less than 3 year, However, in the exceptional cases, the board committee can relax the minimum tenure by 1 year. Removal is the CCO shall be removed before the completion of the tenure only in the exceptional circumstances. Then rank is he should be senior executive of the NBFC, 2 level below of CEO. ठीक है. Skills, they have good understanding of industry risk management, proper clean track record, selection procedure will be well defined committee. Then reporting is prior intimation to the senior supervisory manager, RBI. ठीक है. And in case of removal and all, reporting line with the MD and CEO. Then review will be done by, right, that is board committee, and accepting authority is board of director. ठीक है. चलिए. So now the last question today is which of the following element are part of the compliance program that CCO should observe to cultivate a robust compliance culture in the bank? Identifying major compliance, coordinate with central audit, developing testing and monitoring, review the policy. The right answer will be all of the above. These are the tasks completed by the, right, by the chief compliance officer, that is CCO. ठीक है. चलिए. So now